It was late evening. The streets were crowded, people hurrying home, taxis and Ubers moving in every direction. I was finishing my shift when a ride request came through. The pickup location was a busy street downtown. Nothing unusual about it. Two men got in. They were polite, friendly even. "Hello, how's your day going?" one of them asked. I replied casually and we started driving. Small talk followed. They asked about traffic, about the city, where I usually drove, the usual questions you get from passengers. After a few minutes, one of them asked, "Where are you from?" I answered, naming the small American village where I'd grown up. They exchanged glances. "No, we mean originally. Which country are you from?" I hesitated for a second, not because I was hiding anything. I was just careful. I said, "I was born in the US, no other links." They nodded and apologized for the question. The conversation seemed to settle. Then came the next question. "How many languages do you speak?" "English," I said, short and simple. I wasn't trying to be rude, I just didn't want to elaborate. Immediately after that, the two men started talking in French. I didn't understand why at first. I was silent, focusing on the road. But as they continued, something felt off. Their tone changed, quiet, precise. Their words didn't sound casual anymore. Something about the rhythm, the way they emphasized certain words, the way they glanced at each other. It took a moment, but then it clicked. I could understand French. I hadn't let it show. I kept driving, listening. They were discussing details that didn't make sense for a normal conversation. Mentions of a package, a location, timing. One of them mentioned a drop and repeated instructions. I didn't know exactly what it was, but the way they spoke, carefully and secretly, it told me it wasn't legal. The ride continued. They didn't know I could understand them. I kept quiet, letting them reveal what they would. After a few minutes, they asked to make a stop, a gas station about 10 minutes from the main street. They said, "We'll be back in 2 seconds." They walked in together, leaving me in the car. I waited, keeping the engine running just in case. A gut feeling started to settle. Something wasn't right. I didn't know what they were carrying, but I had a sense it could be dangerous. Something heavy, maybe a weapon. The way they moved, the urgency and calmness at the same time, it didn't feel normal. I made a decision. I pulled over, canceled the ride, and immediately reported the trip to Uber. I explained the situation. 2 passengers, suspicious behavior, multiple stops, speaking in a language they thought I didn't understand. After reporting it, I drove off slowly, keeping an eye on them from a distance for a few blocks. They didn't notice. They left the gas station, got back in another vehicle, and disappeared. I couldn't shake the feeling that they were planning to deliver something illegal. I didn't see what it was. I didn't need to. The way they carried themselves, the stops, the secrecy, and the fact that they had hired a rideshare instead of using their own car, everything added up. Later that night, I kept thinking about the ride. It wasn't the first time I'd had strange passengers, but this one felt different, calculated, professional, the kind of people who plan and execute things carefully. I told a few friends what had happened. Most of them thought I was overreacting, but I knew. There was no coincidence. That stop at the gas station, the French conversation, they were up to something. And if I hadn't recognized it, it could have ended badly. The whole experience made me more cautious. Since then, I pay closer attention to passengers. Not just their behavior, but their speech, their tone, the way they interact. It's a skill you develop when you spend years driving strangers across a city. I never found out exactly what those 2 men were carrying or what their plan was. I hope nothing happened to anyone. But I also know this, sometimes you have to trust your instincts, and when your instincts scream at you to be careful, it's better to listen. Even after all this time, I remember that ride in detail, the casual greetings that felt normal, the sudden switch to another language, the small stops, the vague references to a package. Every piece made sense in retrospect. That night didn't just end my shift, it reminded me that danger can be subtle. You can't always see it coming. And sometimes the most ordinary-looking people on a busy street can be planning things you'd never expect.